So anybody holding an action now gets to do what they were doing.
Sure. Rolling. $12 to hit.
That unfortunately misses.
All right.
Talgar, I believe you had an action you were holding.
Yeah, 11 to hit.
Your longsword, being surprised by it bursting from the wall, just grates off its exoskeleton and misses.
I got a 9 to hit. That's gonna miss. Can I
Again,
have the-
surprised.
Go ahead.
We're just
So
all
it just-
surprised.
Being surprised by this emerging so close to you out of the wall, you cast a spell, it just does not hit.
Tuxedo Ken!
That's Tuxedo Ken.
We return to the adventuring party outside of the small oasis town of Alashar, having gotten a full night's rest in exploring the offerings of the Crimson Dwarf. The party enjoying some gambling and taking in the local scenery. The bard playing with an impromptu band that was at the tavern. Just really kind of enjoying the hospitality that the city has to offer after spending an untold number of days crossing the wastelands of the desert. This morning, rising early and getting some food to take with you, as well as a tankard of ale from the barkeep. The party has set out and met Azar, the caravan master that you have been accompanying in his employ across the desert. He has succeeded in selling off the wagons as well as most of his wares to different various merchants here. As you approach him, closing out the last of the transactions, he has handsomely paid you 30 gold pieces for your efforts keeping the caravan safe, engaging in defending him against the Goblin menace that attacked you in the middle of the night, and just overall thankful for your services. He informs you that it is going to be another night. He has a few loose ends that he needs to tie up here before you set out to your next location, where you will be meeting up with an old friend of his an acquaintance, where you'll be purchasing some mules to make the arduous journey across the Grey Peak Mountains, which do loom in the distance. They do look to be a little ways away, but it shouldn't take more than a day or two travel to arrive at this location, he informs you. At which point you'll be greeted by his friend's hospitality, and there'll be an opportunity there to rest and relax before undertaking the final leg of the journey that will take you up and over the Grey Peak Mountains. He tells you that tomorrow at sunrise to meet him at the gate to the city here, and you will set out on your journey. But until then, the city is yours to explore. Just be careful. It has there is a semblance of order and civilization here, but we are still a ways away from the long arm of the law. And we can actually shift to the board called Streets. I will load up your characters.
Thank you for the very good information.
Ty says that he has some business that he would like to attend to, but he will meet you back here at dawn as he heads off into the city, leaving the rest of you to explore the town and take in the locals and scenery. The streets are bustling with activity. It is still fairly early in the day, but the smell of roasted meats and bread baking and incense and just all kinds of different smells assault your senses as the city becomes more active as the sun rises.
Sorry, Kelly. Question for the DM.
Sure.
In character creation, we have like our tool proficiencies, but we don't necessarily start with those tools in hand. We'd have to purchase them still.
Check your inventory, see if it's
That
already
is-
in there.
It'll just say like kit or something if you have it, but that is a session 1 question. I haven't really, I don't have really an answer for that at the moment. So the answer to that is we'll say that you do have everything you need. If you're like a blacksmith, though, obviously the tools that would include would be an anvil and other things. Let's say you have your hammer sets and stuff, and you would need to find an anvil and a forge to be able to use those tools. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does.
We can kind of we'll just kind of work through anything. But if there's something you would like to do with your kit, just let me know, and we can find a space or an opportunity for you to explore those resources. When we do get to session 1, I do have rule sets for all of the tools and gear.
No
I just
worries.
didn't
It was
think it
more,
would be coming up
more
at the moment.
a thought of just having them or not. Because I mean, some toolkits can go up to 50 gold.
Yeah, you would if you have the tool proficiencies and you would start with that toolkit, you will have access to it when we actually get to where we're going.
Cool.
But if you need it now, then I'll make it available to you.
Okay. No, well, it's just something I wanted to have for, future plans for my character. That's all.
So, party, the city is at your disposal. What would you like to go do or see or explore?
Well, my friends, I don't quite know what you have in mind, but I do need to collect some supplies for myself.
Are you the same guy as last night?
I have no idea what you mean.
You're very strange and mysterious. I like it.
Sure. No worries.
Quick question though, and this is for you. Your little rat, is that like a familiar or something, or is that just a rat you found?
Vesmir just does a semantic motion in the air, and the rat
Yeah, that. Is,
answers your questions.
yeah, what's its name?
Yes, that's with no name.
No name? Oh, you poor thing. What's it do?
He does my commands, my bidding. He does as he is needed to.
I want something. Let's go shopping. I got a list. What you guys want to do?
Yes,
Supplies.
I too need supplies.
All right, so we go looking first. I guess a supply shop. I guess that's what you guys were needing.
Yeah, DM would like to go to a supply store.
I would like to spend some time wandering around doing the ability that I asked you about last time.
Okay. So you're going to set off away from the party?
Yeah, just kind of poke my head in a few places, try a couple things, and then catch back up.
Will do. We will cycle back to you then.
So I'd like to look for a.
Yeah, one thing, one second. Mindlink, just when you're ready and you have an idea of what you're actually looking for, just DM me and we'll work it in. So the rest of the adventurers, as you head into the town, you make your way down the high plaza. Are you looking for like a general store? What exactly are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for. So I'm actually after some toolkits that I'm not proficient in as well. So I just want a general merchant. I don't need anything magical or anything like that.
Fantastic.
I need some more arrows and a little bit of rope.
All right. So as you make your way down the high plaza here, kind of taking in the sights and sounds of the bustling streets, you make your way to a shop that has a sign hanging over the door that says "The Ladle and Son." It's not too shabby of a brick building. It's got an adobe finish to it. The building is rather fastidious, and you notice many items kind of through the windows are packed for sale. You can see that what appears to be the store's shopkeep is currently signing off on a fresh delivery of goods. And scrolling around looking for a suitable building to actually make this the shop.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I got 2 other shops to visit, so it could be of the mind.
Yeah, so...
What are you after today?
We'll say this shop over here. That's not the party.
Whee! Ah,
So we'll say this shop.
there we go. Ah.
As you make your way in, the shopkeep kind of looks up from his clipboard, checking you out just a moment before smiling at you as you come through the door.
Hey,
She introduces herself as Malkis Orthonos, proud owner of this general store, and says that you've arrived in just the right time. A fresh shipment of traveling sacks are coming in, and maybe just what you're looking for. She does seem a little out of place, like she doesn't belong here, and she has kind of like just got a little bit of an uncomfortable air about her.
Malkis, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I was wondering, I am looking for a few kits, if you do not mind. I am after...
Kind of bows at you and says, well, what is it that you need? We can do just about anything for you, but be warned. As she kind of looks you and the party members over, her eyes falling upon the bard. Be warned, these prices may be out of your range.
I understand. Can I do an insight check to see... actually, no, I'll leave it for now. Yes, I was wondering, do you have potter's tools?
Potter's tools. As she kind of goes through a few different crates that are lining the walls, as well as some shelves. And she says, yes, I do have a couple here, actually.
I am in need of just one set.
She pulls out kind of the associated tools with it, and she says, I can let it go for as little as 9 gold and 7 silver.
That is very gracious of you. I will take one of these, please.
Puts it all kind of together for you and takes your coin. Just make sure you mark it off in D&D Beyond.
No worries.
Says, what else can I suit you or outfit you with?
Well, as far as tools are concerned, I am also after a set for, how do you say, locks. AKA thief.
Her eyes kind of narrow a bit. She says, for entertainment purposes, I assume.
But of course. And I give a reassuring nod. I am more for the arcane arts, not thievery, if you know what I mean. I merely have an interest in the mechanical as well as the arcane.
So she kind of goes behind the counter and shifts around a couple small boxes and brings up one made of some like black ebony type wood and slides the top off, and inside is a gleaming set of lock picks There's a small tool that has a mirror mounted on a metal handle. There's a narrow set of narrow-bladed scissors, a pair of pliers, kind of everything that you're looking for as far as the toolkit in question is concerned.
This will do just fine, thank you. How much will it cost for you to part with it, please?
These are fine tools. The craftsmanship is exquisite, but I could part with them for 18 gold.
18. Is there any ways that price could come down any further?
Do you have anything for barter or trade?
That is a good question. Let me see.
Oh, while you ponder that, her eyes kind of follow the other members of your entourage here. And is there anything that either one of you would be needing?
Maybe, but I'm just curious. How's a lovely rose like you enjoying a desert place like this?
Her tall and kind of bony frame, is kind of taken aback by your question. Her piercing blue eyes lock onto you. And she says, well, my background is definitely not in shopkeeping, and I'm doing my best to make a go of it. As an only child, being raised by a single mom, I had somewhat of a poor upbringing. I had to scrape and fight for everything that I have. One day I found myself in a fight with some drunkards around me. And people started to bet on whether I could win. I found that strangely exhilarating and continued to fight, seeking that thrill. Selling goods is easy enough, but selling for a profit, I found that is much harder.
Looks like you got a different fight on your hands. Yeah, we're kind of the same, kind of working our way up in the world. But, you got a lovely place here, and I'm sure you're going to do great. Is there another place you'd rather be than here?
Nothing has compared to the thrill of being in the ring. The roar of the crowd as you vanquish your enemies. But alas, my age and skill has deteriorated to the point where I had to find a new profession.
The escaping of the youth. But with age comes not deterioration, but a desire and need to adapt. Use one's weakness against them to overcome. I forgive my overstepping if I am, but to continue and to go above rather than to recede sometimes has a greater purpose to life, does it not?
It can.
Merely,
Although my purpose at the moment is to turn a profit, become a successful shop owner.
but of course, I would not swayed you from your desires. Unfortunately, my supplies seem quite light. I don't have much to trade, and I do not wish to rob you of your profits, so to speak. So I will pay the 18 for the tools if you still have them for offer.
She does. She slides the cover back on the wooden case that they sit in and takes her coin and slides them over to you. And she
Very
says,
great.
if you're caught with them, you did not buy them here.
He does a little prestidigitation and makes a noise to the side of the room, hoping to catch her attention as he slides them under his robe.
You see that she looks after the noise that you've given, but a slight smile turns her tanned lips as you slide the package under your robes. It does not look like much escapes her watchful eyes.
Can I attempt to slide a hand check?
You may try.
So I also get to add a D4 to this as well. 21.
Okay. You feel that you have put it in your robes rather stealthily.
I want to try something. Oh, okay. Okay.
Don't burn all your luck.
Okay, so as this is going on, Vinny's just standing there and just very silently goes, boop, boop, boop. And the first prestidigitation he cast is this very, very minor boop, coming from the direction of Vesmir. And the second prestidigitation is a very foul odor coming from behind him.
After a few moments after you cast your spell, you see Balquise's nose kind of turn. She smelled quite a few odors in her day, but she does take notice of it. It's too polite, especially when the smell of profit is here in front of her as well.
So, there's a couple things I'm looking for. I may use, I may not, but we'll see. You got anything like charcoal or incense or anything like that?
Indeed, I do.
Ah, do you have a brass brazier? Brazier? I think that's right. Not brazier. That would be uncalled for. A brass brazier.
She says, I have both.
Ah, okay. So, I would like a brass brazier, and I kind of write it down, charcoal, incense, herbs, and I want 20 gold worth of that. If you got it.
So she takes out kind of a rather large block of incense. And a small sack of charcoal. And she looks around and finds under various other items a small brass bowl. It's got desert scenery kind of around it. It looks like instead of the small normal legs, it has 4 sculpted camels that kind of hold the bowl up above. It's rather decorative, but polished smooth, and looks rather nice.
Pretty fancy. All right. How much for the lot?
Wow. How much of the incense did you need?
Well, it's 20 gold worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs.
Okay. So yeah, she gives you a considerable amount, in a small little burlap sack full of some dried herbs. And she says for the herbs and charcoal, it's a set amount. But for the bowl itself will be 8 gold.
You know what? You've been so lovely. You're still quite lovely, and I can see you can twist a head or two with those arms. How about I just give you 30 gold for the lot, 20 for the incense and supplies, and we'll take that 8 gold and make it 10. Help you out a little with your shop, eh?
Since your generosity will not go unnoticed, and she gladly accepts the offer. Slides both the bowl as well as the incense, dried herbs, and charcoal over to you.
Awesome. You have been a doll. You really have. Anyone else?
Yes.
Blushes slightly, even through her leathery tan cheeks. you can see a little bit of color. And what about you, my friend? What wares can I interest you in?
Karl nods curtly and walks up to her, says, I do not have time for pleasantries. I'm just here for some arrows and a bit of rope. Do you have any?
Arrows we do have. He says a bundle of 20 arrows will cost you 5 silver.
That is a fine price. I'm looking for some rope as well, at least 50 feet in length.
He has some hempen rope, a coil of it, 50 feet in length. Will run you 9 silver, 7 copper.
That sounds fine. And I'll hand her. How much were the arrows?
5 silver for the lot of 20.
All right. I will hand her a gold piece and I'll hand her 1 gold piece, 5 silver, and say, thank you for your brevity. Take the arrows and rope and walk back to the side of the room.
She places her fingertips together and bows her head slightly, thanking you for your generosity.
I do have one quick question, though. Your shop name, who's the son? Unless you're talking about the sun up there.
No, it's clearly spelled S-O-N. She says, alas, the name of the shop was one that was already familiar with the locals, and so when I acquired the shop, I left the name intact.
All right. Well, you've been very helpful, and if there's anything else before we leave, we'll be sure to come back.
She thanks you for your patronage and says that may you find bountiful treasures and safety as you continue your journeys.
He gives her a wink and then heads out the door with the others.
All right. So, Mr. Mindlink.
Bows on his way out.
Mr. Me.
So, walking down the streets through different avenues, you find somebody that catches your interest, kind of leaned up near an alleyway. He seems to be just kind of relaxing with his back against the side of the building, kind of watching everything without moving his head. As you approach him, he takes notice of you. What would you like to do?
I kind of do a secret, like, hand motion to him.
He kind of, his eyes
whisper a password into his ear.
His eyes kind of look left and right, and he kind of nods to follow him down the alleyway.
I will follow him.
So you head off the main street. Give me just one moment. We shall return. Mindlink, how come I can't go to the game rooms?
Ah, so Vinny.
Yeah.
That was not exactly polite what you did back in there.
Buy stuff? What was not polite about it?
You're not the only one with prestidigitation.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I just tested it out.
Actually, hold on. Did you roll a nat 20 on sleight of hand?
No,
Was
no.
that what you
Well,
were going for?
I rolled a nat 20 on to see if I could see you, put it, put away the stuff, and I rolled a nat 20 on that. So it was a nat 20
Gotcha.
on perception, which gave me a 23 total.
Gotcha, yeah. Well, you saw what I was doing.
Which is why he had a little fun with the little prestidigitation himself. Yeah, usually I do a third thing where, I make a little noise, have a little smell, and then I can like soil someone's underpants. But I wouldn't go that far with you. You're a good guy.
Yes, well, I would prefer that you not do the first two either.
You're right.
from now
You're
on.
right.
That would,
You know what? I apologize.
well, I graciously accept your apology, and may it not happen again.
Well, not with you. Absolutely. May come a social time where it may be warranted. Just testing it out, but again, not with you.
Well,
Karl
you
does
know my
sweat.
boundaries, and we shall just keep them that way.
Well, I'm
Sorry.
learning your boundaries.
Sorry, Cal, what was that?
I was saying it. Karl squinted Vinny suspiciously.
Hey.
I'm watching you, Green One.
Cool. It's hard to watch you. You disappear all the time. It's really cool.
I've always liked the darkness. It's like a warm blanket. You can walk in and be safe.
Well, it's plenty of warm out in the desert.
Too warm.
Yeah, I figure. Wonder if that's
Well,
what's... No, go on.
there's always a problem when you wear leather in such a place.
It kind of comes with a slight cost, but better this than nothing.
Keeps you alive.
This is true. I mean, it's always nice to have cotton breeze, like the desert winds on the cool evening. You never have the problems that you face now.
Here at the local general store. Where to next?
Well, I don't know about the other two, but I'd like to see an alchemy shop.
Okay.
I've got nothing else left to do. I'll come along.
Yes, let us explore the alchemist.
Just one moment.
And I just a quick side. This is fun. We're having fun. We're role playing. We don't need mighty action in dungeons. This shopping episode, I'm having a blast.
That's pretty good.
I will say in general I enjoy the tactical combat a little more, but I'm certainly not. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But
So what you're saying is it's awful and you'd rather be killing things. No, okay.
oh, not at all. No, I really enjoy a very much a combination of both, like, and story. The story is a lot of fun.
Well, at least
What's
you
your
weren't the
target?
target of a fake fart.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you make your way
Yeah. Sorry.
down
Make our way.
the avenue here, there's a little dead end of different buildings, and you see a small kind of round building that has Now my words are just like failing me tonight.
You're fine.
The glass container. A glass flask that looks to be, half painted with fading red paint. There's some wording on it that would denote that it is an alchemy shop. Roughly translated to common, it would be the marked laboratory.
Well, is it the glass flask or the marked laboratory?
The sign is a glass flask.
Oh,
Like the symbol, basically.
gotcha. Hey, let's go in.
So as you enter the marked laboratory, it's a terracotta building, clearly a potion shop. As you enter looking around, the laboratory must have had some type of explosion the day before. There is no other possible reason that the shop that deals with so much magical, often volatile chemicals would be so crowded, blatantly danger to itself and the half-mile radius surrounding it. There are pots and pans of mixtures that have already spilt over, crowding the desk, with potions that are currently look to be brewing, strewn around the floor. There's little hope to walk through the shop without putting your foot in something that you probably would prefer not to. And just as you try and kind of hesitate for a moment, you hear the distant sound of a, no, please don't go, come from behind the counter. As a voice attached to a bony kind of halfling, rather thin in nature, speaks up from behind the shop counter. He takes a long swig from his water skin. He glances up from what he was doing and smiles your way as you kind of navigate through the clutter of the store. And he introduces himself as Finnan Sumadao, the sole owner and proprietor of the marked laboratory. What can I do for you?
Who is he saying don't go to?
Well, to the party, just narrative.
Oh, I thought someone was leaving him and he was asking him not to leave.
Well, it's like one of those things, like you walked into this big messy place and you kind of hesitate for a second of am I in the right place?
Oh,
And
I
he
see, I
speaks
see,
up,
I see,
no,
I
please
see.
don't go. And then I
Got it.
fumbled the rest of the narrative. So anyway, he introduces himself as Finland Summerdau, the proprietor of the shop, and asks, what can he do for you?
Hey, it looks like you had an accident here. Everything okay?
He looks rather relaxed as he idly shifts kind of a box of worm tongue petals as he talks. He's like, no, everything's fine. And I just wish that my vendor could arrive on time for a change with some new glassware. I seem to be running rather low.
That's funny.
He tells you that he's working on an extremely powerful fertility tonic, as he points to kind of a thick steel kettle.
Ooh, what's it do?
You kind of look inside, you see a white liquid with kind of crimson swirls bubbling within it, as kind of steam bubbles off it. He says, well, it makes you fertile.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I want to know if this guy is competent or he just seems like a swindler. And I roll 15.
He seems rather confident in what he's saying. You don't get the impression that he's being deceitful. As far as competency, that could be yet remain to be seen, especially considering the condition of his shop.
Oh man. Well, it's a shame. Maybe since you have an order coming, I'm actually here looking for glassware, some flasks and vials you might have for sale.
Well, I've got a few glass bottles. They're rather precious and dear at the moment, but I could be convinced to part ways with them. I also have several smaller flasks here that are made of clay. I have a few wooden jugs here as well. Depending on what exactly you're trying to store, they may suit your purposes just fine.
Well, that's the thing. I'm kind of out and about for the first time. There's all kinds of nice and cool stuff out there. Unknown stuff. I just picked up this vial of sand. You know, you got enough sand around here, but, you never know when you might come across something. Some slime or drool or some weird liquid, pick it up, pocket it, maybe useful later. So just whatever I come across,
A specimen kit.
Ah! That sounded... that sounds great.
Let me see what I can come up with. And he kind of starts digging around, rooting around, pushes some broken things away, and puts together a couple flasks, 6 glass vials, a large glass bottle, and 2 wooden jugs.
Ooh.
And he's like, this should be able to accommodate you.
Well, how about this? Kind of for trade, I got something a little special, high quality stuff. You could probably use it. I don't know if it's good for fertility or whatnot. And I pull out the sack of the giant toenail clippings. Premium stuff. I'm sure you could find use for this.
Yep, 1 second.
Totally forgot we had that.
Honestly, when he sort of hinted at aphrodisiac, I'm like, it's going to be the giant toenails. I could tell.
And I'm trying to find what I did with that. That wouldn't have been that. But then last.
Yeah, it was a lot of them, and the smallest of which was 10 inches long.
Yeah. Like I actually had prices for these.
Oh.
And I can't remember what I did with the thing.
Balderdash.
But yeah, the rest of you look around, see if there's anything not broken that might interest you.
Vesmir just having a look around the shop, doesn't see anything of interest, especially not in the condition the shop's in, and he takes his leave and exits.
Just Karl just calmly look around the edge of the shop, what isn't broken and in disarray, just taking in the scene.
Damn it, I actually had prices for these, and I can't remember what the hell I pulled them from.
And if you need me to help offset the cost, I could do a little cleanup around here.
I'm sure it's worth like 270 gold at least.
Oh, it wasn't that. Okay, let me check my. I got one more place to check, and then.
That's fine. I'm digging the music too.
Yeah, it's great. Great ambience.
Doing what I can to set the mood. We're also trying to kill time for Tyee to get here.
Hey, fine. Dude, I got computer components in the mail coming tomorrow. I want them now. God damn.
One more day. Here we go.
Just Control F in every application you have open.
Found it. Okay. So, you have my interest. So he kind of makes a space on the table for you to kind of lay out your collection.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
He looks them over, holds them up to kind of the light, sniffs them a few times. I will give you 60 gold pieces for the lot.
How much for the specimen kit?
He says he'll let the specimen kit go for 6 gold pieces.
All right. Then we'll do both.
All right, so he slides that over to you, and as well as a sack of 54 gold.
Hey. Before I go, you want me to help clean up a little bit around here? You know, help you out some, since you've been so kind?
No, everything's right where I need it.
Oh, all right. Well, if we need anything else before we head out, I'll be sure to come back.
Indeed, and if you find any other interesting tidbits, please come by.
You got
I'll give
it.
a fair price for them.
All right.
All right. Sorry that took a while to find that.
Holy crap, I'm glad you did, because I was going to just do a fair swap. You give me the specimen kit, I'll give you these, and we're done.
He seems quite happy with the trade.
So do I.
So, where to, gentlemen?
What time of day is it? Still early in the morning, I would assume.
It's getting on. It's probably closer to midday at this point. Having visited a couple shops.
There's one more shop I want to go to. A clothing
Got an
shop.
awful lot to do in this random town.
Oh, there's plenty. Always. Let's see.
So as you make your way down the road, you find a small tailor shop called the Clara Road Tailors.
Claro Tailors.
As you enter this well-kept adobe building, you notice that there's a large sign at the front road that reads, "These clothes are a fit for you." And in the display, you see that they have several quite beautiful wedding dresses, as well as some emerald, some type of emerald material that has been sewn into a tuxedo. As you enter, there's a elvish woman currently working on a new piece of clothing. She doesn't seem to look up or anything as you enter, but a warm voice welcomes you to her humble shop.
Hey, nice to meet you here.
Likewise. And what brings you to my shop?
I wanted to look around. I had one thing in mind, but my fellow wizard here, my friend Vesmir, gave me an idea. What was it you said your rope was made of?
Rope? Sorry?
Robe. Your clothing.
Oh, cotton.
Cotton. You got any, like, I know it's gonna sound weird. You got any cotton underwear I could get? Apparently it breathes. It's very comfortable.
She says that unfortunately she doesn't have any cotton, but she does have some rather high quality linen. She kind of goes over to several bolts of it. She looks to have finely dyed red, yellows, greens, purples, orange, kind of a variety of colors. The material is quite nice.
I look over at Vesmir's. Linen good?
Well, I am not sure. This comes from far away, so I do not know the material differences. I am no tailor.
Okay. Well, you know what? Forget the underwear. I got enough of what I need. What do you got in hats?
She kind of moves over to one of the display cases, and there's several hats here made of a variety of different furs. There's one very large one that looks to be made of the fur of a skunk. It's got a big white stripe down it. There's also several wool hats. There's several handkerchiefs of various materials. There looks to be a snakeskin hat of like kind of a safari type variety, wide brimmed.
How much for that safari type hat?
This is a rather special item, but I could let it go for as little as, let's say, 4 gold.
4 gold. Not bad. It's good for keeping the sun out if it gets too hot and stuff.
Indeed, it will.
Since I'm kind of a smaller creature, I want
to looks you over and says, and quite durable.
Will it fit on me? I don't know how many small patrons she gets for these hats.
It looks like it might be a little wide, but with your ears and the fact that it does have like 2 strings that come down that kind of cinch under the chin, you feel that you could secure it quite nicely.
All right. I dish out 4 gold and hand it over to her.
She gladly takes it.
Awesome.
And what else? Could I interest you in maybe some new breeches? I have some camel skin boots.
I'll think on it and have to come back. Anything you guys looking for?
No, I am quite fine, thank you.
You know, the hat was the main thing. If I can think of anything else before we leave, I'll be sure to come back.
Please do. She returns back to her sewing, and she's working on looks to be a jacket of some type.
That was kind of my shopping list, guys. What about you?
As you exit that the shop, you almost run directly into Talgar as he kind of emerges from an alleyway.
Hey, there he is.
And Tyee, having finished his errands that he needed to run, kind of meets you at the crossroads as well.
My approach is kind of brushing some dust off of my cloak. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you? It's good to see you. Have we gotten everything we need?
You see Vinny with the new snakeskin safari hat. Hey, looking good here.
Oh, that's quite a nice looking hat. Very, very, very strapping. Yes, very good.
Ha!
Where did
Strapping.
you get something like that?
I just pointed to the shop behind me.
You look
very
good,
good,
my
very
friend.
good.
Yes, very well. Good to see you, my friend.
Having run your errands, Tyee, was there any shopping that you needed to do?
No, I should be fine. Thank you.
That's excellent.
What map should I be on?
Streets. Streets.
All right.
By the way, sweet new avatar.
Oh, that is my son. That is my youngest.
I was pretty sure because I mean I've seen him on your camera a few times.
He got caught doing something he shouldn't do,
Uh-oh.
and his mother was videotaping him, and that is the look he gave her. Like, uh-oh.
Busted.
Indeed.
It took me by surprise when you DM'd me earlier. I was like, who the fuck is this retard? Fucking, I thought it was like one of the 45th guys because there was some drama recently. And
Oh fuck. Nope.
it was like, oh wait, it's Tyee. Oh, well.
Little old me.
Well, there does not seem to be much to do for the rest of the day, but I don't know. I could use some arcane training. There was some work available in the tavern we were enjoying the last night.
We got time for that? We're leaving in the morning.
Well, they said they had a rat problem. I don't think it should be too much to handle, do you think, young Vinny?
I guess not. If everyone else wants to, certainly not your rat, but whatever rats they got to deal with.
There's a rat problem?
Yes, there was a write-up on the board inside the tavern from the last night. I did not mention it before because I thought we were sitting out in the morning, but as it turns out, we were not. We are way late, so it may be of interest. I have no qualms either way.
If we go check that out, maybe you could show them that rat symbol that we found. Might be related, might not be.
Oh, yes, that's just a good point. I mean, we could always just go in there and we just have a good conversation, yes? I mean,
Yeah.
I happen to be able to just speak with, any of the living things, really.
All right, well, let's
Yes.
go back to the tavern and ask about that rat poster.
Okay.
Oh, yes, very good. I shall follow. Are we going to the map, or are we just moving our guys over there? Or...
Well, I get lost on the map, so I was just looking for a building that I could put rats in. Since you're gonna go do random posters I've put up for scenery.
I wasn't sure whether you put that up as an encounter we could do, or whether...
Well, it
It's
is
whatever
now.
we want,
I
You don't need to move your characters over there, but you do go back into the bar, the tavern, the Crimson Dwarf, and you find Aldon Pillwinkle or Wiccan, whatever the fuck his name was, polishing a variety of tankards, none of them matching, a couple of them dented. As he looks up and says, back so soon.
Yes. We were just inquiring. You have listed on your boards over there someone with a rat problem.
Yeah, that would be Murray. He comes in time to time. I'm not sure exactly what he's done, but he's always complaining about the rats being in his shop, and he's always looking for ways to get rid of them.
But of course.
Vicious little things. The
What
desert
kind of
rats here.
shop does he have?
a feed store of some type, I believe, or he stores grain in it for different merchants.
Oh, okay. I mean, we got a friend here could purify.
I'll be perfectly honest with the group here. It's literally going to be one of these buildings, and I'm going to throw a couple swarms of rats in it. Like that's the extent of the encounter,
No, it's fine.
which is perfectly fine if that's what y'all want to do.
I honestly wasn't sure. Yeah, I mean, we could accelerate time, but yeah, I thought that was there intentionally.
No, it's up to you if you want to do it. Let's kill rats.
Well, I don't know if we should be spending our time on this. It seems like, gosh, when is the caravan leaving today? Yes.
No, tomorrow. We got the rest of the day.
Oh, we got
Azar
today,
had a
okay.
few things he needed to take care of.
Oh, very
And you do have 30 gold that he paid you at the end of last session. In case
Yes,
you did
I had
need
that,
any
yep.
anything. There will be another opportunity to purchase maybe a few odds and ends once you arrive at the moors.
As a player, I'm happy to skip over the rat encounter. You don't have to smash something together, Callie.
Okay, I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh,
I think we can move on.
I was going to convince Murray to use the rats as a new line of food item. You could capture them, cook them, make more money.
Alright,
Or the
I
mash
do.
can us do.
I do want to show him the pentacle that I have with the rat's head carved in it, and ask him if he knows anything about that, or if it means anything to him.
Yeah, well, at least ask Alden about it.
Yeah, Alden, are you showing Alden?
Yes.
He takes it from you and kind of turns it over in his hand and says, "You got this where?"
Off someone that attacked us earlier or yesterday.
Out in the desert.
Interesting. Can't say that I've seen it before, but the sun does strange things to people when they spend too much time out there.
That's fair.
A lot of people and hermits and whatnot have strange superstitions. Whether you put any stock in them or not, is your own business. But it's not uncommon for people to have trinkets of this type.
Appreciate it.
So, I mean, you guys seem like you're interested in doing this rat thing. At least two of you are.
No.
Are you
We'll
guys
move
gonna
on.
Do that or?
We'll move on.
Okay,
It was
cool.
just something. It was an
Yeah,
idea, but
I-
since we're all
I
together,
just remember being on the board when Callie's like, "Oh, you noticed a notice board." I'm like, "Oh, what's in the notice board? Guy with the rat problem." Oh, probable encounter. Okay, but no, it's fine. It's fine.
it's whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, I'm prepared to move on.
Yeah, ditto.
Okay.
To the moors.
Oh, we still have a night to spend here.
Let me do one more thing. Checking. I wouldn't. I know. We got like someone who can make food and drink or whatever, but I'd like to stock up on some rations. Buy a couple more of those. So, got a ration shop near here, or would that be like the
The
general
lady-
store?
The Ladle and Sun should be able to accommodate any of your adventuring needs.
Ah. Well, let me go back there then.
Huh? Before we go to the shop, we do have this strange shadowy figure here. I believe he might be able to make gosh, what do you call them? The good berries, yes?
I can.
Yeah, but I don't want to use up his powers. This is just in case kind of thing. I just want to stock up.
Sure. I understand. I understand.
Yes, one should not needlessly use up arcane ability for such frivolous things that can be solved in easier ways.
Oh, my friend, there's nothing frivolous about the good berry. That thing is a treat.
The
Well,
man knows his stuff.
I do not know this good berry, but I will take your word for it.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna turn that down. I just want to make sure I'm stocked up, just in case.
His luck favors the prepared.
Exactly.
So if you return to the Sun and Ladle, she
Hey.
greets you again, and rations would consist of some dried hare, like jerky, like rabbit jerky, as well as some like hard cheeses, some biscuits they're fairly hard, kind of like hardtack. And that'll run you 5 silver a day. And that includes the appropriate amount of clean drinking water as well.
Yeah. Give me a
Wow,
week's worth.
rations are cheap.
I'm gonna stock up, so give me a 7 days worth.
Yes, I will also be taking 7 days worth.
All right.
So
Mark it off accordingly.
7, 35. Don't take anything off. 70. So that'd be 7 gold total. I'll go ahead and pay for each of us. So I got you.
Thank you.
Kind of makes
Yo.
up for earlier.
Your hospitality is quite welcome. Thank you kindly.
All right, I think I'm set.
Yes, I think we are done very well for the day. I don't see any need to stay here a moment longer.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I tend to agree. It's probably best to get rest before we head out in the morning.
Cool.
The sun begins to set on Alashar here. Merchant traffic continues to move about. Talgar, this would be your cue.
Do what?
Were you doing anything with that information?
It's a beautiful sunset in the desert. There's really nothing quite like it. It's a very special thing. If we were further away from the city, you could see the stars clear as day. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I will let the party know to follow me. I have somewhere we can stay for free for the night.
Oh, free lodging.
A safe
very
place.
good. Who would describe this safe place? Is it better than this inn here? We were treated very well here last time.
Oh, why would you ask me that? It's a safe house that I have access to. I have the keys. It's our own place.
A safe house. You gosh, you are like the shadowy one then, yes? And just kind of motioned to Kalb.
You'll get
Yes,
an
please.
uncharacteristic
It's an
smile
option.
and a chuckle.
Please lead the way. Let us see your house. I'm interested to see how comfortable it is furnished.
Same. I will lead the party to the safe house.
Okay.
We don't gotta watch our coin purse or anything, do we? I know you said safe.
Towns like this, you always should watch your coin purse.
Oh, where should we be?
One second. Just deleted the back wall off the building. If you click on your avatar, it should take you to the right in front of the front door.
If I click on my avatar, it should?
Yeah,
on
top
the
left.
It'll zoom you in.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the city. It's not moving me anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah, that's correct.
Try again. There we go. I got you now.
Ah, very good. Cool.
I think I got all of y'all. So Talgar steps forward and puts the keys in the door, clicks the lock, and it opens. This is a well-furnished house. Looks to have 4 beds have been provided for 5 beds have been provided for the party.
I'm small. I can make do.
I don't need a bed. You can take it.
Yes, this is very nice. Your back wall seems to be a little off though. What happened there?
Yeah, the GM's having some problems over here.
I hear a voice from on high, and I look over my shoulder like something magical is happening.
But it's a nondescript building. It's well furnished. The bedding looks fresh and clean. There's water, a small bundle of rations for the night to meet your needs. There's kind of no real descriptive features of the building that calls attention to it or anything. And it's well kept. Does not look like a family lives here or anything.
Yes, this is very nice. Talgar, this is very nice.
Welcome to our humble abode.
Well, this is more than one could have expected, so I appreciate your hospitality. Thank you.
Of course.
Talgon, take me away. Do a little prestidigitation, clean myself up, get settled into bed. Night, guys.
All right. So, any pre-bedtime activities that anybody needs to do?
Yeah, actually, before Karl gets down in his meditative stance, I'm going to cast Good Berry. A little glow emits from my hands, and 10 good berries appear, and I throw them in my backpack.
Okay.
Yes, those berries are very good. They are very good berries. Good berries.
And they stay fresh for a day.
That they do. They look to be perfectly ripe, juicy, luscious-looking berries as you put them in your backpack.
Luscious.
All right. So, any other pre-bedtime activities before we take our long rest?
Negative.
All right.
Good.
So, as you drift off in these well-furnished beds and accommodations, you're woken in the middle of the night by swarms of rats.
I knew it. They were after the good berries.
No, you get through the evening with no interruptions. You wake at the crack of dawn.
The dawn is cracking. It's time to get going.
As you head towards the gate to meet Azar, your caravan master.
I stay behind for a second as the party goes and kind of non-discreetly put the keys under the mat and then catch up.
Okay. So, you arrive at the gate. Azar is waiting. Let me pull a figure out for him.
Yeah, the Dragonborn before.
I read his name as Azam. A-Z-A-M.
That's probably what it is. Like, I did not export all the stuff that I generated last session. I closed it too fast, and so I've been kind of winging it since then.
It's Azam.
Azam. My apologies on pronunciation of my name.
Shazam.
It's early.
All right, there we go. And I'm going to make him actually unique. And then rename him Azam. Done. Okay. So he says, I hope that you had a restful evening and are ready for the dangerous journey. It'll be just us until we reach the moors, where we will be joined by a group of people needing passage across the mountains. Obviously, your services will be needed to keep us safe through the journey. And to reach the moors, as we have open desert and the narrows that we are going to need to navigate through.
And what is the going rate for this protection you are asking for?
Oh, you get us to the other side of the Grey Peak Mountains in one piece, and you'll each be rewarded 40 gold pieces.
And it's just us. There's no caravan. It's just you and the people that are standing here at the gate right now.
No, when we arrive at the moors, we'll be joined by others.
Right. I mean,
safe passage. But for us, for now,
from here to now, yes.
From here to now, from here to the moors, it'll be just
Right.
us.
Sounds exciting.
Everybody better be on their toes.
Got my-
Better to get going now than later. Yes.
Got my hat all set to help keep out the sun.
It's already very hot, even at this early as the sun begins to peek up over the desert dunes. The Grey Peak Mountains being illuminated by them in the distance. Stratus clouds hang overhead, resembling a patchwork of clouds, or patchwork of different fluffy groupings. A dog and a lizard are fighting each other at the town gate as you leave. A few onlookers kind of take notice of you heading out towards the Grey Peak Desert, this being the last bit of civilization. It's kind of rare to see people leave on foot, but nobody asks any questions as you head out into the desert wasteland.
I am going to cast Prestidigitation. I can have up to 3 at a time. One for me, one for the caravan leader, one for Vesmir. It's the best I can do. And basically, I can chill just a little bit so that the heat isn't as bearing on us. I can't do everybody, or I would, but just make it more tolerable for our journey.
Most excellent. The winds are in our favor. Azam kind of takes in this cool breeze, a reprieve from the scorching heat, as you head out into the desert wastes. So you travel quite a bit through the day, making decent progress. Azam is putting on a fast pace, and the party is keeping with him. The 2 days rest there at Alashar, proving beneficial to your stamina as you keep pace with him. His dragon-born lineage allowing him to kind of just keep powering through. The sand doesn't seem to bother him much. His scales being cooled by the constant precipitation, or however you pronounce it, from Vinny. Towards the middle of the afternoon, the landscape begins to change. It goes from the shifting sands with spotty vegetation, tufts of dried grasses and dead trees, every once in a while, to more of a rocky terrain. Sand still ever present, but stone features jut from the sifting sands here and there, and are becoming more frequent as the party continues to travel. By late afternoon, most of the sand is beginning to fall away as these features begin to get larger and larger. Finding that they are almost small little canyons that you're navigating through as you continue to head towards the Grey Peak Mountains. At some point through this maze of different stone terrains that you're navigating, Azam holds up his hand and stops his forward progress. And he says, "Did you see that?" And everybody roll perception.
12.
11.
So Vinny and Tyee, up ahead, in this rocky formation, for just a split second, you see a tuft of dust rise up. There's not much wind rolling through, and it makes the dust kind of hang in the air for just a moment longer than it normally would. And you see a dark shape kind of move through it, and just as quickly, it is gone. Zam looks rather concerned.
You seen anything like that before?
We are being followed by something.
If I can find it.
I did not see what you have seen, but I will surely be alert for sure. No problem.
Could you not send your little buddy to look?
Pathrux.
He is not quite adept at going through the sand. He's not a fast traveler, more a. But he is perceptive nonetheless, but better in small spaces.
Azam says, Kurthux. They're horrible creatures and quite deadly. They live in these rocky outcroppings. They have the ability to tunnel through them with ease. They will need to be sure-footed and quite alert. They're an ambush predator.
So how long have we been traveling for?
Most of the day. It's probably like late afternoon.
At this heightened alertness, Vesmir casts Mage Armor on himself.
Okay. We can actually go ahead and switch over to Desert Wastes. Or Desert Waste.
We also lost our music bot.
That's okay.
Oh, this is going to be very tricky, gentlemen. Gather around closely now. Come to me. Come to me quickly, and quietly. And I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
We should proceed very, very quietly. Very, very sure. We should all be as quiet as we can.
Okay, pass protection. Control 30 feet of close. Making this difficult for me here.
Who is the Pass Without a Trace?
It happens.
All right. So, let me roll for Zam.
Wow.
Of course, a fucking course.
That's amazing.
Okay, so I need a stealth roll from everybody.
Oh no.
If you're wearing heavy armor, remember to right-click and roll at disadvantage.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll close thing.
21 with the Pass Without a Trace.
Tyee's got a 28. Vesmir has a 26.
Yeah,
Talgar rolled a fucking 0, so he has a 10.
Wow.
Rest of us makes up for it, I think.
18 plus. So I rolled a 20 total because I get to roll a d4 on stealth checks.
Well, you also get plus 10 because of Pass Without a Trace.
There, so 34 is my stealth roll.
All right.
I feel very stealthy.
So,
I sure don't.
which path would you like to take? As Zam kind of motions for you to lead the way.
Who does he motion to?
He just kind of like waves towards the party.
I'll go ahead and start heading one direction. Just be the ranger. I mean, generally, that's kind of my shtick.
It's actually a good idea. Yes, lead the way.
I'll go this direction.
Vesmir will keep towards the middle of the pack.
Also keep towards the middle.
I'm just looking around out of curiosity. Any sort of ruins, like signs of old civilization through these canyons?
None of that are jumping out at you now. This looks to be just a kind of a natural landmark.
I also would like. Oh, go ahead.
No, you start. You started first. Go.
I was gonna say I also would like to be kind of on the lookout for animal tracks in the sand.
Okay.
I was gonna ask for the same thing.
Roll me a nature check, or I'm sorry, survival check from both of you.
$10 for me.
I rolled a 26.
So Tyee, you don't see any like obvious footprints, but you see kind of strange markings, like something long and sharp drug through the sand every few feet. They're a track of some type, but you are from the desert, correct?
I believe so. Yes, I think it is. Yes. It appeared to be desert on the map. Yes.
Then you would know that these would be the tracks from an adult Kruthic.
An adult Kruthic. Okay.
A rather hideous monster that has tunneling abilities, but it has kind of like long exoskeleton, almost blades for limbs.
And these tracks travel in which direction? So you see them kind of like a fork.
Yeah, you're at a fork. They would track to the towards the west there.
So they track like to my back. Oh, the southwest. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, southwest. Very good. Okay.
Had to find the compass. Yes, that direction.
Okay. Yes, gentlemen, to the southwest here, which I'm going to point in the direction. There is a real son of a bitch. It's just a real menace. We should avoid that at all costs. If we want to take the safest route, we should just travel straight ahead here through the easternmost passage.
I'll nod to Tyee and keep going in that direction.
I would also like to suggest that maybe we keep a little more than 5 feet between us.
Yes, very good idea. Yes.
And by that I mean person 5 feet gap, person 5 feet gap, etc.
Social distancing.
Yeah, well, with so if you continue to the south there.
To the east, yes.
Well, yeah, but to the go as far east as you want, but as you make your way to the south, past that rock kind of feature that you're at there, to the west, far down the canyon on the other side, you see two of these large creatures. Like at the very end of that canyon. I don't know if you can see them or not.
Cannot.
Line of sight.
I'm gonna put you up there. Now,
there we are.
So you see them way over there. They don't look like they have heard or seen you. They look to be just kind of digging around, doing their own thing.
All right, I'll hold my arm up as in a fist, and then get it face attention and hold 2 fingers out and point down the canyon.
I have no idea what that means.
I just hold my finger up to my lips. Just.
Oh, I have no idea what that means.
I'm gonna give him a thumbs up and I'm gonna smile at him.
So turn back. Well, I guess. Oh no, we're trying to avoid these guys.
I'm just waiting for to know what you want to do.
Yep. So I won't move my token, but I'll walk back to the group and let everybody know. So this canyon goes down, and they're at the end. It looks to split off to the south. I don't know if we can get around them.
Yes, we are. They're very good hunters. We are probably stuck, honestly. I think we should take every advantage and see if we can't get just drop on them, which I think is going to be your specialty there, young man.
An ambush would be an ideal situation for us. I agree.
And if you would like my guidance, you have it. May the stars bless you.
Tyee, how much do you know about these creatures? Do you know if they can see invisible?
Would I know that?
Roll me a nature check.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna know that. It's a 4.
I want to roll to see if I know what the heck a Kruthak is. Kruthik.
Okay. Roll me a nature as well.
I'm sorry, my fellows. I'm a
8.
city druid.
Yeah, you really don't recall anything. This is the first time you've heard that name before, Vinny.
Kruthak.
Yes, I know them to be quite dangerous, but I couldn't tell you if they would see invisible things. I would say most likely not.
Well, if we would like, I could make the Paladin invisible. If he would like to get a little closer, perhaps, and then the rest of us could spring our ambush. The problem will be if there's more than the 2 that we see.
Yeah, but the Paladin's got all this clanky stuff on his body. Ain't they gonna hear him coming?
Yeah, I think you taking
They
those surprise
will.
shots here is the best bet. I mean, you have quite the brutal opening salvo, yes.
That is true, and then maybe they would come to us, set up a bit of a funnel in this little bit of a ravine.
Right. Indeed. We get the jump on them, and perhaps they get the idea that we were kind of bad news bears, to use a druid pun. Yes.
It's a good idea.
I'm going to take a minute to kind of gauge our range here.
Are they good eating?
I would not recommend eating the fauna. No.
Oh. You said there were 2 of them, right? Maybe they're a couple. Maybe they got a nest somewhere.
It's quite possible. Yes, it's quite possible. Yes.
So an actual picture, so I'm having you use a placeholder model, is in general chat now.
Ah.
Frightening. I think
Almost
we
like
should
the flower's better.
we should all kind of move into position before we do this. Maybe perhaps a little further down this canyon, just a little bit at least.
They'd make great mounts if we could tame them.
So position yourselves where appropriate. You'll have succeeded in your stealth checks. They don't know that you're there.
By the way, so if you press the M key to get the rulers up, if you change to number 2, you'll get a simple drawing tool rather than the sphere. And then you can just measure as needed. Vesmir whispers quietly to the party. I am ready to hold my attack. I will do so at the right notice. Once the first person's attack, I believe we can all simultaneously do what we need to do to get the most out of our advantage, yes?
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to. Let me see if I can. Sorry.
All right. Well, I am where I need to be, so I'll look at everybody and just take my sling the longbow and draw an arrow and just wait and look around for everyone to be in their positions.
Vesmir looks around for loose rocks. That would be less than 5 pounds, roughly.
You easily find some. The ground and these shelves are littered with them.
Excellent.
I'm going to look around the party and just kind of put my thumb up, just kind of look at everybody in the eye to make sure that we're ready to rock. I'm looking at Talgar. I'm looking at Talgar first.
Are you? What?
I'm looking at Talgar, giving a thumbs up, seeing if he's ready.
I give a thumbs up.
I'm looking at Vinny. I kind of smile. I look at Vesmir.
Vesmir gives the nod.
And I'm going to look at Karl, and I'm going to just point at a target and just kind of motion to send it downfield.
Yep. All right, so we are going to let fly against the one on the ground there that I just drew an arrow to. Pull back the longbow and let her rip. Actually, as a bonus action, before I let my arrow fly, throwing Hunter's Mark on it. And then we're launching an arrow. Are you ready for rolls?
Stand by.
Standing by.
Does Hunter's Mark do anything?
Not really. It doesn't until I hit. It has a verbal component, so maybe they could hear me.
Yeah, no, not going to be a problem. Okay. So, roll your attack.
Alrighty. Oh, you stupid game. My attacks were blue earlier, they're not now. That's fine. I can do this. I can do math.
I blame D20 or not D20. I blame
Roll or D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
That's a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. Will hit.
All right, that's going to do. Boink. 9 plus. Sorry, we have to do all my shenanigans on the first round. So where's Hunter's Mark? There's Hunter's Mark. $1d6. $12 points of damage on the first shot. But because Dread Ambusher, we're going to fire a second time. Did you get that first number?
Yep, got it.
All right. The next shot is a 11 plus 7, 18 to hit.
That hits.
All right. 1d 8. Actually, we're going to do a D8. 2 D8s, actually, because I get an extra 1 D8 on this attack because Dread Ambusher. Or no, is it? It is a D8.
Mhm.
Yes. So we're just going to roll 2 D8 on this one. And it's got a +3 on it. 16 damage on the second hit.
Okay.
And then that is my turn.
Do you get Hunter's Mark on that second one?
Say,
Or is
that's
that
a
only once
really
per
good
round?
question. Let me look. Let me.
This would be considered a surprise round. For
It
this
doesn't.
one attack.
It just says whenever you hit hit it with a weapon attack. At least
Yeah.
mine does.
All right.
Sounds like you would get it.
All right. So add another 5 points to of damage. What's the total? Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention.
That's a lot. You did a lot.
We'll get into that in just a moment.
Okay,
so
we'll get into that in a moment.
2 arrows break the silence of your stealthy movement through this canyon as you set up this ambush, and the arrows whistle as they cut through the air ever so slightly, and then find their target, sinking deep into it. The Krthuk screams in pain, thrashes about momentarily, and I need everyone to roll initiatives.
Oh, I thought we should have discussed it a bit more better. I would have thought we'd all get like a simultaneous sort of round to attack.
Nope, only one person gets to go.
Okay.
So does that mean I do the Dread Ambusher thing again? Because it shouldn't. It shouldn't. No, that's dumb.
Well, no.
It's more like
I'm not giving it to you, so we can move on from that.
yeah, it's more like once per combat round, like the very first beginning attack.
Yeah.
And
All right, Vinny, what did you get?
13.
13. Vesmir.
3.
3. Talgar.
16.
16. Tyee, you got a 9 or what?
Correct.
Okay, and Karl?
23.
Dear God.
I have a +6 initiative.
Wow.
It's only gonna get worse.
It's only
that
going to
was-
get worse.
That was the one on the ground.
We're going first forever.
So that was 12 damage.
Just wait till I got the assassin and I'm critting those extra shots.
So the one on the ground is like kind of thrashing about already. It looks to be severely wounded. We lead off this round with Karl.
Hey, worked so well before. We're going to fire a arrow shot at that one on the ground again.
Hey, Talgar, you're on deck.
D20, kabam. 19 to hit, so he's going to hit. So we're going to go to do D8 and a D6, +3. 9 damage.
Its spike-like legs collapse underneath it, and it kind of quivers, and stops moving. You have felled the creature.
I'm going to nod approvingly, and that's all.
All right, Talgar, you're up. Vinny, you're on deck.
I'm gonna stand at the ready, holding my sword. I'm gonna hold my attack for if they or anything rushes us.
Okay. Vinny, you're up. Tyee, you're on deck.
Let's see how far away he is from. A little far. All right, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold a cantrip until he gets within. If he gets within 60 feet, I'll fire off a vicious mockery at it. But otherwise, I'm gonna stay firm behind these guys.
Okay. Tyee, you're up.
Okay. My robes are going to begin to glisten, and the archer constellations strewn across my robes are going to kind of start to grow a little brighter. And I am going to I'm going to start off by attacking with Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
And rolling to attack. It's going to be a 9. That's going to miss, I'm assuming. Yep. And then I'm going to follow up.
Radiant damage splashes on the stone next to it, but it does not strike the creature.
I'm going to follow up with my archer form, starry form, so I'm rolling to hit. That's going to hit. Good. That's going to be a 25. Rolling damage. There we go. That's going to be 10 radiant damage. I'm going to move a little bit back here. There we go. Sorry, did you get all that?
So you don't get to attack on the first turn. So because when you activate this form, and as a bonus action on your subsequent turns while it lasts, oh no, you get to. That's when you activate it. You get to do it as well as a bonus action moving forward. Okay, I see. You can make a ranged spell attack. Well, you've already made a spell attack.
Okay, but it's not a spell.
But you're making a ranged spell attack.
Right. So the things that I found have said that it's not a spell. And therefore, it's not necessarily subjected to, like, the dual casting thing.
The Guiding Bolt?
I mean...
No, the starry form, the archer.
Make a ranged spell. With a memento.
Now I know it's Reddit.
Just hang tight.
Sorry.
Bonus action against a wild shit feature. So using a bonus action to take the form, using the class feature, which is not an action. Moving forward, it will be a bonus action, but it is not a spell. Yeah, you can do both.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the clarification that I found is that spell attacks aren't spells. That distinction's there to just tell you that it's using that modifier.
Yeah, I think that the real line is like if it was using a spell slot,
right?
Then
yeah.
It would be.
Yeah, certainly.
No,
but I get the confusion. I get the concern for sure.
Yeah, so you're just using the spell attack modifier basically for the attack.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you're good to rock. So how much damage was that?
10 radiant.
10 radiant. Sorry about that. Needed to clear up the rules. There's going to be a few of those as we figure out the characters.
Nope. No, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else?
I moved a little bit back, and that is going to end the turn.
All right. So the creature screams an ear-splitting scream in horror as it looks down upon its mate and is attacked by this starry energy. It is going to, enraged, burrow into the stone beneath it. disappearing from your sight, leaving only a tuft of dust and a low rumble.
Because I think just fucking left. Yes.
Vesmir, it is your turn.
All right. Seeing as it has burrowed away, I am going to hold Ray of Frost as a cantrip in case it emerges near us within 60 feet.
Okay. Right, so you hear this kind of low rumble that is getting ever so slightly louder, but we're back at the top of the initiative. Is anybody wanting to do anything different on the subsequent turn other than hold their current actions? Karl?
Yeah, I actually was going to try to climb up on the rock here and then take the hide action to try to be hidden.
Okay.
Where am I? I'm here. Well, I'll be right there. And then I'll take the hide action, and that's all I want. All I got.
Okay. Talgar, Vinny, Tyee, either of y'all guys doing anything differently?
No, I'm still holding up the ready. I don't think anything I have is going to help me find where that thing went.
I'm going to move forward a bit in front of everyone. I'll still hold my Vicious Mockery if it appears, but I'm going to hold from here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold a guiding bolt in case it appears as well.
Hey, Vesmir, are you doing anything?
No, just holding the cantrip Ray of Frost.
All right, so the rumble continues to get louder. For narration's sake, we'll go through another turn unless anybody wants to do anything else as it's doing its thing.
I'll stay close to the group just in case, in range of everyone.
Okay.
Can we tell where that rumblings come from?
It's coming from somewhere underneath you and to the north.
This thing would, since it's borrowing, would be counted as like behind total cover, right?
You can't see it. So yes.
Gentlemen, I think we might want to begin moving, perhaps. We are just kind of sitting ducks in this canyon now.
And there now is only one of them, we think.
That we know of. I think we should get moving.
Motion is always good, yes. Motion is always good.
Yes, we are safer together than we are separated, so don't be too far apart, yeah?
Alright, so Karl would lead off with your turn again.
Alright. Let's see, how far can I go? Actually, about right there. So I'll jump down from the rock then and be here between Vinny and Talgar.
Okay. Talgar, Vinny, Tyee, any of y'all doing anything differently other than holding your actions?
I'll move up a little bit more and then see if I can see a nest anywhere.
Okay. Tyee, you moving your character there? You still holding your action?
Yeah, I'm going to move forward a little bit, just kind of behind Vinny in between Talgar, and I'm also holding the action, yeah.
I'm just kind of trying to stay like middle of the party, keep an eye on everybody.
Okay. So, as you guys continue to move forward, you hear rumbling just to the north of you, underneath your feet, as stone begins to shake, and crumple in front of you as the creature emerges from the wall of that canyon right next to you. And it begins its attacks. Well, it wouldn't begin its attack because it's now closed within you. So anybody holding an action now gets to do what they were doing.
Sure. Rolling. $12 to hit.
That unfortunately misses.
All right.
Talgar, I believe you had an action you were holding.
Yeah, 11 to hit.
Your longsword, being surprised by it bursting from the wall, just grates off its exoskeleton and misses.
I got a 9 to hit. That's gonna miss.
Again, surprised.
Go ahead.
We're just
So
all
it just-
surprised.
Being surprised by this emerging so close to you out of the wall, you cast a spell, it just does not hit. Was there anything else left?
Vinny has
Vinny?
his. Yeah, he turns around, kind of mirrors his mate, and goes.
Okay.
He casts.
And
He casts Vicious Mockery. He's got to make a Wisdom saving throw of 12.
he rolls a 13.
Ah, gosh darn it. Well, then it doesn't take an effect.
When we were holding, do you hold bonus actions too? How does that work?
Nope, just one action. Or
You
one
have
spell.
to basically declare the action that you're holding.
That's fair. Nope. Just it's good to know.
All right, so it will lash out with its try to stab both Talgar as well as Tyee with one of its elongated forearms there. Talgar, it pokes at you, gets a 17.
Gonna miss.
It pokes at Tyee. It gets a 9.
That is gonna miss. Yep.
9.
9 indeed.
And we're moving through normal initiative now. Vesmir, you're up.
Make it my way.
Okay, I see it appear, and I attempt to shoot at it again with a Ray of Frost,
Okay.
and that is 17 to hit.
Unfortunately, 17 is not quite enough.
Holy shit. Okay. Feeling safe up here on the rock, I will just hold my position.
Okay. Karlben, you're up.
So am I in melee distance here, you think, or not?
Yeah, you're in melee.
Great. I have a fix for that. So I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself, which allows me to move and not take opportunity attacks. It also here I'll paste the rest of it that's pertinent in chat, which I won't quite use yet.
You don't have to post. I've got your character sheet right
Oh,
here.
you do. You can see it. Okay, so yeah, I'll get an extra 1d8 on one weapon attack roll on your turn. So I get to choose when to burn Zephyr Strike, but until I burn it, I can move without taking opportunity attacks.
Okay.
Oh, was I guided, by the way?
That
Yes.
would
Probably
have been
ended.
by now.
Did it end? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm about to
because
make-
we're still moving into position. We hadn't entered in anything.
got it. All right, so we're going to move back a little and take a shot.
Okay.
Come on, D20. That's a 7. No, that's an 18 plus 7.
18 hits.
So we're going to 1d8 plus 3. 7 damage.
Okay.
And we're not going to burn Zephyr. I think Zephyr Strike's a burn, right? Like it doesn't apply on every shot.
Once before the spell ends,
Ends.
which is up to 1 minute,
Right.
you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack on your roll on your turn. So you have to declare it before you roll.
Right. Fine. Yeah, because I would rather keep it to keep the opportunity attack stuff if
Yep.
needed.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
Talgar, you're up. Vinny, you're on deck.
All right, I'm gonna swing at it again with my sword.
All right.
15.
Unfortunately, that's not enough.
Damn it,
It dodges deftly your blade as you swing down on it.
you little bitch.
Vinny, you're up. Tyee, you're on deck.
All right, well, I kind of turn toward, like, don't ignore me when I'm mocking you. And I move up and I pull out my rapier and I try to stab it.
Okay.
18.
18 hits.
All right, so the damage is going to be 13 because it's 10, and I'm going to use Fury of the Small. So 13 damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action, disengage and get back a bit. And that ends my turn.
Tyee, you're up. The creature looks quite bloodied at this point.
Yep. I'm gonna hit it with. I'm gonna snap my fingers, and there's gonna be a flame appearing, and I'm gonna just extend my hand towards the creature, and I'm gonna use produce flame.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 25 to hit.
25 hits.
Rolling damage. It'll be whopping 3 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit it with the starry form archer. It'll be a 17, bastard.
Unfortunately, not quite enough.
And let's see, that's action, bonus action. Yeah, that'll end my turn.
All right. It is going to attempt to stab your character twice with its forearms. So the first one rolls a 16.
That'll hit.
It sinks into you, does 5 points of piercing damage. The second attack is a 7, which misses.
Yep.
And Vesmir, you're up.
Okay, so I cast Magnify Gravity, and it's got a 10-foot radius. So what I will do with that is, I don't know why that's like that. Is I will cast it about here.
Yeah, I gotcha. I see your intention.
And it needs to make a Constitution saving throw DC 14.
Rolls a 13.
Okay, it takes 2d8 damage, and its speed is halved. And the damage is 5.
So you see the creature kind of get pulled towards the wall there. It doesn't have much room to escape, and it just gets crunched. Like its fluids and blood just starts leaking out of all of its joints as it screams horribly. It is just barely clinging to life and writhing in pain as this gravity well basically just starts crushing it. Karlben, you're up unless you had anything else, Vesmir?
That ends my turn.
Okay. Karlben, you're up. Talgar, you're on deck.
So reading Zephyr Strike a little bit more, the way I understand it is it lasts for 1 minute no matter what. But one time in that minute, I can give myself advantage on an attack and get an extra d8 force damage. But then Zephyr Strike still lasts the full minute.
Your walking speed increases by 30 to the end of that turn.
Yeah, but the first paragraph is what I'm most interested in. The fact that it says you move like the wind as the spell ends.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
That's any rate. So we're obviously going to take another shot.
Okay.
Boink. 11 plus 7, 18 again to hit.
18 hits.
Where are these rolls when I needed them on my sorcerer? All right, so this is and I'm going. Oh, I don't need advantage. Actually, I'm going to burn my advantage. I'm going to burn the Zephyr Strike advantage. We're going to see if we can get a crit. And that's not a crit, but it's still higher.
You have to declare that before you roll to attack.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. I'll probably do. Oh, jeez. You can pick up dice and re-roll them. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the hit goes. We're going to do a 1. This is just the regular 1d8 plus 3 then. 9 damage.
You pierce it, screams one last time, still smashed against the wall in the gravity well, and perishes. You have defeated the creature.
God, those things are ugly.
Congratulations, party. You have defeated the monster.
Well, I'm still looking while I can for a nest, an egg or babies or something like that.
Right.
Roll me a survival check. Actually, roll me a nature check.
Oh, that was almost a 19 plus. Nope, only 5.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not able to find anything. The tunnel that the creature emerged from is about 5 cubic feet wide, and goes back into the stone and then down, which you can see. Basically, it goes back towards the direction it came from. But other than that, there's no other visible signs of nesting or any other activity.
Do I still see those that trail, those tracks?
Yeah, if you searched around for a little bit, you would be able to find them again, and they lead to basically where you saw the creatures. There's a few other tunnels from that area that branch off into various directions, but you only see the pair of tracks.
Okay, cool. Yes, gentlemen. I don't really see any of the tracks. I think we might it might benefit us to get out of these canyons as soon as we can.
Yes, we should get a move on. Keep your eyes out, because there's probably more.
Hey, Tyee.
Yes?
Tyee, come here.
What? Yes.
Come closer.
Okay.
I lick my palm and slap him. Heal and spit. And he gets 5 points of healing.
Yes, that is quite disgusting, but thank you.
All right. Good to go.
All right. So the party continues through, exiting the narrows here in the desert waste. Asmir says that we're making great time, and if we push a little bit further, we should be able to make the moors by nightfall. Any objection to this?
None here. I'm enjoying this.
The party continues to push forward, Asmir quickening his pace, the party keeping with him. It is a blistering pace that he is setting. The heat of the day, the heat of the combat is definitely taking its toll on you. And just about the time that you all are just feeling borderline exhausted, tucked into a large outcropping of stone that begin the stone outcroppings of the foothills of the Grey Peak Mountains. You are now kind of at the base of the mountains. A small kind of settlement emerges, and we can actually shift to desert moors. Zam sighs a sigh of relief as you arrive at your destination. There's a decent amount of pack mules out front, a few camels and other creatures. I think I've got everybody at this point. The camels the pack mules are already actually loaded up with gear. There's several individuals kind of tending to those as you kind of emerge from the desert, and we will go ahead and take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. Everybody go to the bathroom, get a drink or whatever, intermission, and then we will continue when we get back. All right, so coming out of the desert wastes, exhausted from the fast paced that Zam, right? Zam, we'll change that. Zam. has met. You come to this small establishment tucked into the canyon walls of the foothills of the Great Peaks. Pack mules are already loaded. There's a few camels milling about, and you're greeted by a gentleman in kind of some red robes carrying a cane. He says, "Azam, my friend, you made it earlier than expected." Azam kind of bows his head and greets him. Says, "My friend Ares, we made it with very little trouble. My companions here have navigated us safely to this place, but we are in need of rest and food and drink, if you can provide it." And he says, "But of course," and leads you into his establishment here. So he leads you through a double set of doors that take you into the lower level. There's a large kind of foyer here. Not on top.
Good night. Oh, sorry, guys.
Move it and stick. All right. Where'd he go? Okay, so he leads you in through a double set of doors. The furnishings in this initial room are rather plain. There's a large a statue in the room of a warrior holding a shield. And then as he opens the second set of doors, he says, "Welcome to my humble abode." Inside, your senses are overwhelmed at just the warmness of the place. There are a rather large bar. There's kegs. There's food. There's a considerable amount of people in here. There's 10 to 15 individuals wearing various drab kind of desert attire. They all kind of look up from their different tables and whatnot as Ares leads the party in. And he says, "Make yourself at home. Azam and me will discuss business for the next leg of your journey. These are the individuals that you will be accompanying across the Great Peak Mountains." And kind of just like ushers you into the room. There's tables with large ornate pillows, rugs, and all kinds of stuff. There's the smell of smoked meats, dates and olives on the tables, and it's quite welcoming after the long journey through the desert at the pace at which you were going. So I pull up more tables to pull from. You see quite a few people just kind of, eating, discussing things amongst themselves. Nothing really in particular jumps out at you. You do see a couple other individuals that look like seasoned adventurers, kind of hunkered over the table, kind of just discussing things quietly. There is a half-orc with a puffy white hat over in the corner, playing some type of dice game with a few other individuals. There's a couple individuals kind of making their way through the tavern here, filling out cups and attending to the customers, the patrons rather. Is there anything that the group would like to do or discuss?
I think, Karl, I'm going to go up to the bar and look at the barkeep and ask what kind of ales do they have here.
Well, we've got a decent selection here. We have everything from barley wine to a few different ambers. We have some bocks, some blondes.
Oh, I'll take a pint of amber, please.
So he pours a frothy mug of like an amber red looking liquid into the glass and slides it over and says your tab's been taken care of.
Excellent. I'll grab my mug, nod to my fellows, and then start off towards one of the tables.
Yes, I'd like whatever he had, please.
Barkeep nods and pours a second drink.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll take a blonde, please.
Ha!
He moves over to another keg that's been tapped and pours a lighter mug of ale and slides that to you.
Thank you.
Weird question. What you got that's not alcoholic?
Kind of raises an eyebrow. He says, "Well, we have fresh water. I have several spiced honey drinks."
You know what? I'll try a spiced honey drink.
Yeah, so he slides you over a dark-looking liquid, and puts a few spoons of honey into it and stirs it, hands it to you. It smells of cloves and nutmeg. It's a warm drink.
Thank you kindly, Mr.
Aldrich.
Aldrich. Well, if I need anything else, I'll be sure to come back.
Yes, I'm after one of the more finer ales that you have in this establishment, please.
He says, "We have a special."
Anything of recommendation is quite fine. You don't need to explain. Just.
So he pours a rather rich, frothy-looking mug of something to you and slides it over.
Gracious of you. Thank you kindly. Good sir.
And before you depart to the table, he said, "Would your party care for anything to eat or?"
Yes,
long journey. I would imagine that you're hungry.
That would be most gracious. Any assortments you can come up with. Obviously, as you said, our bill has been taken care of, so anything that the house provides, we will be grateful for. Thank you.
Okay. So he begins to work to kind of fulfill that order as you make your way over to the table with the other party members. Zam and Ares are in deep conversation back and forth, discussing what you can overhear seems to be various routes. Ares making suggestions, and just kind of they're deep in conversation about kind of the next leg of his journey and his intention or intended destinations. As you make your way to the table and have a seat, kind of take in the room. It's nice to be off your feet. The dust clinging to your clothes from the journey here.
This is a very nice place.
Oh, I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
Vesmir, actually, upon entering the establishment, would have prestidigitation all the way through his robes and just made himself near immaculate as possible.
Most making you stand out among the party as your robes are now pristinely clean and
You're very shiny.
Being clean is very important to you, isn't it, Vesmir?
Presentation is not everything, but, first impressions, they can last, yeah?
Ah, yes, it's true. Yes, true.
Yeah, presentation ain't everything, but prestidigitation is.
All right. So after a short period of time, the barkeep Aldrich moves over to the table carrying a large platter of what appears to be seared goat, a bowl of red beans. It has brought over 5 oranges for the party and a small bowl of pistachios, as well as a large pitcher of cool water, condensation forming on the outside of the pitcher. And leaves it at the table and says that he hopes that this would satiate your appetites after such a journey.
This looks delicious. Much obliged.
Vesmir raises his ale and gives a affirmation nod.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much.
Before he can leave, Karl's glass will be empty, and he'll motion, point to his glass as he wants another already.
So Aldrich snaps his fingers and points to one of the other barmaids that's kind of making the rounds, and she comes over and picks up your glass as he heads back to the bar. He refills it, and she returns your glass freshly refilled.
Where is Azam in here?
They're over at the bar, discussing things.
Okay,
Sorry,
gotcha.
Move.
No, you're good. He's with the noble.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Vinny's got his food, but he hasn't started eating. He's just watching everyone around the table, sees how they eat and what they do before he kind of mirrors that.
It is good that you are so observant. Vinny, I see you looking around at us. It's good to try to, how do you say, conform in a way.
Well, Goblin way of life ain't the best and gets my people killed, so gotta learn the civilized thing. I mean, I read up on it, but to see it in action, it's kind of interesting.
No, certainly. As someone who has traveled far and wide as well, is you have to act certain ways in certain situations. It is wisdom to
Tell
act
me,
upon
how
it.
would you normally eat?
I look around, I take a piece of meat.
Oh yes, that's much worse.
Yeah, see? Ain't gonna win over hearts that way. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand.
With a disgusted look on Karl's face, he wipes some of the meat particles off his arm that splattered over.
Hey, sorry.
So Tyee, while everybody's eating and conversing here at the table, out of the corner of your eye, you see that Ares and Azam have reached some type of understanding, and a sack of coins is exchanged from Azam to Ares. They embrace, and Ares and Azam slap each other kind of on the back, and then Ares departs out of the room as Azam heads over to your table to join the party, and they're feasting.
Hey, pull up a chair.
Azam, it's good to see you. Who is your friend? Who is that? I know you introduced him earlier, but I was just exhausted. I couldn't pay attention.
That would be Ares. He and me go way back. We used to run competing caravans.
And now you are. Yes. Sorry. Continue.
Always trying to one up each other.
I see.
He got the better of me more than once, and has done well for himself. He's carved out a nice little business here, tucked away from prying eyes. He's a trustworthy source, which are few and far to come by, but for this leg of the journey, he has gathered some others that need to make the journey over the Great Peaks into the Sword Coast.
I see.
Since we're already heading, we've been paid to escort them across and ensure that they arrive with his goods safely on the other side.
Yes, indeed. Now, have you worked together for long? Have you run many caravans for him?
Only one or two.
I see.
But I trust him. And more importantly, he trusts me.
Now, as somebody who is not from around here, how How did he earn this trust?
In the desert, you find that the environment is a greater enemy than any grievances that you have with your competitors.
Oh yes, it's the desert is very unforgiving. Beautiful, but unforgiving. Yes.
We were able to save each other's hides more than once. At the end of the day, both of us are just trying to scrape together a living and get to the next journey.
Very good. What are we moving tomorrow?
An assortment of different spices, a few satchels of rare herbs from the desert, and a few other components and various knickknacks to the Sword Coast. Things that are not readily come by.
I'd
in
like
that particular
to
climate.
I'd like to check that, see if he's telling me the whole truth or the truth at all.
Yeah, Vesmir is also interested to do an insight check on that as well.
All right, give me insight checks. Tell me what you got.
8.
22.
So with your 22, you get the impression he's definitely leaving a few things out.
I see. So it's very similar to the pre. Oh, did you have more? I'm sorry.
Just one of those things of the, he's giving you a list of goods, but it's pretty clear that there's maybe a few other items.
Yes, as where I'm from, trust is earned. I guess in similar ways. We oftentimes groups that struggle together. I mean, they can only really truly last when they know what they're struggling for. They know maybe perhaps the totality of the circumstances, we would say.
Indeed. As a
You say out
one of
these.
one of the
go ahead.
things that we work well together with is knowing. Is important to know all the facts. Is also important to know what not to ask.
I see.
What business is his business. We've been asked to perform a job, and we're going to see it done.
Do we get an extra cut on that?
I believe I'm paying you quite handsomely as is.
And what about you, Zam? How handsomely are you being paid?
Well enough to continue working with the likes of you.
I see.
Kind of laughs and takes a swig of his own drinks.
So what do we gotta look out for with this next leg? I know we're going to encounter some mountains and stuff.
Unfortunately, our desired route has been blocked due to a landslide, and Ares has been kind enough to scout an alternative route for us, at least to get us through. It is a rather treacherous path, and one not taken very often.
Well,
Take us through. Go ahead.
it is good that you trust him. I hope that his scouts are just as trustworthy.
Well, beyond just the trust, he has a vested interest in ensuring that the cargo gets to the Sword Coast. And
Well,
That
naturally,
I
it's
can-
just cargo.
that I definitely have trust in. He has no desire to see the cargo lost.
Nah, neither do we.
Vesmir gives a nod of solidarity.
That being said, it will take us close to some abandoned mines, and the last leg of the journey will actually take us through an abandoned mine deep in the mountains.
Oh, mine!
So
Holy
we first off wouldn't hurt to have extra water. Don't want to risk fires catching on the caravan.
Yes, Vinny, that is a very good point. We should have water, and if we do happen to have an emergency, I can create water.
That'll help.
I happen to have that ability.
Second,
Do,
sorry, go on.
I was going to say, do we continue this next leg of the journey on foot or by caravan?
We'll be escorting these individuals that need to make their way to the Sword Coast, as well as taking pack mules across the pass.
Who are these individuals? Who are joining us?
There's a variety of locals. It's not uncommon for people to come out this way to either see family or to head to the coast to try to make a better life in less harsh conditions.
My
Now, are they fit for this journey, as far as you know?
I'm sorry, you faded out.
They fit for this journey? I don't want to necessarily be a babysitter.
I don't get to screen the clientele, but I can tell you if it comes between them and the cargo is the priority.
Cargo seems very important.
Well, I'd recommend, even though cargo's priority, when we camp, I'm not a fan of the wagon drivers staying in the wagons. Try to keep close to the Senna and let the guards just, whoever's keeping watch, keep a patrol, because I don't want to lose anybody else.
That was definitely an oversight on my part. I should have been more forceful in keeping everyone together, but I felt that we were close enough to Alashar to not... Basically, we let our guard down. I let my guard down.
Well,
I will not make that mistake again.
We'll get this taken care of.
But it's also very important that everybody must look for themselves, yeah? I mean, obviously these travelers knew the risks, and unfortunately they came off worse for wear, but don't think this is to blame on your part?
His family was handsomely paid for his loss.
Very well.
Well, eat up, drink up, get some rest. We live in sunlight, I take it?
Yes. Once first light breaks, we'll begin the climb.
Climb.
It should
Sounds
take
fun.
us a day or two to pass through. This is a rather narrow section of the Grey Peaks. That's why the route was selected out of the options we had available to us. But it is a wilderness. There very well could be additional creatures. There could be bandits. These mines are notorious for having people, although long abandoned, having people trying to scrape out whatever riches they can find within them. Energized quartz is a commodity that people will kill over. And when some find a deposit, they will guard it with every bit they can.
Yeah.
We saw some posted at the last town about the quartz. It's with some very motivated buyers, it seems.
Indeed. It's hard to come by. The dwarves used to mine it. Most of the mines were started by them, but they long since have moved on.
Why'd they leave it? Why didn't they settle?
War, famine.
Ah.
It was long ago. But dwarven construction is sound and generally stands the test of time. So, with any luck, we'll be able to navigate this in a matter of days. Be in a more temperate climate.
Sounds like you have quite a bit of planning to do. You should get your rest. So I'll never heard it when we head out this morning.
Yeah, so he takes his leave of the table and makes the rounds with a few of the other tables before heading to the prepared rooms. leaving the
Any
party
animals?
to. Sorry, go ahead.
Or any animals?
Inside the tavern here? No.
Or a cat? Anything at all? No? Nothing? Okay.
Nope, not in here.
Great.
So, is there anything the party would like to do before they turn in?
No, I think that covers it. I know there's an enticing dice game over there. Those adventurers that you mentioned earlier, how close are they to our table?
They're like, I don't know, the next table over, I guess.
I didn't know if I could like peek my ears and just hear anything that they might be saying.
Sure, roll me a perception check.
No, while he is
17.
rolling that check, I inform the party about what I saw in my eye there.
Okay, what did you see again?
I'm just gonna kind of tell everybody. So while Vinny is checking out these random adventures, you should all know that additionally, our leader is
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's our intrepid leader take she likely took a payment from our gracious host. So just know that there's additional punished did pass hands and
Hey, you are like really cutting
Near
out.
robot.
You're trying to
Isn't it
whisper, I
bad?
guess. Just speak a little louder.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just plain talk. I saw him, receive extra funds while he was talking with Ares. Or at least, just so everybody knows. And he seemed cagey.
All right, I get the gist of what you're trying to say. We still cutting out. Just you're sharing that he seems there's more to what he shared to us than what he
As
shared.
well as received a payment from Ares.
Gotcha.
This seems to line up with his story somewhat. His business is his own.
Yeah.
So your ears perk up at the table next to you, and you hear them discussing just all the opportunity that lies on the Sword Coast. It's not like these bleak little hamlets here in the oases that crop up around the watering holes. That there's rivers and lakes and ships. They talk about, like, one of them talks about like the ocean being this like never-ending body of water, and the other adventurers are just kind of like taken back by this concept, having never seen it themselves. But they look to be setting out to try to make a name for themselves somewhere in the Sword Coast.
Vinny's just stunned and it's like out of the storybooks. He's just taking it all in.
Sorry if my narration's suffering. I'm starting to feel the
No, you're doing fine.
We're good, buddy.
Vinny's just as stunned and excited. Not that kind of excited, but you know what I mean.
Vesmir's making plans for tomorrow.
All right. So is there anything anybody would like to do before you head to bed?
Not at this point, no.
All right. So it is dawn. As you rise, you're met with a hearty breakfast. Your water skins are filled. Some additional rations have been packed for the caravan, and you meet outside as Azam and Ares discuss the final details. The pack mules are loaded and ready to go. They've been well watered and fed. The group of travelers and pack mules are ready to set out. Azam turns to the party and says, "Are you ready to begin?"
Yes, yes.
I'm ready.
No use in waiting around. We should carry on.
Indeed. So he whistles, and the pack mules begin to move forward. And he kind of leads the way as you leave the moors behind and begin to climb through the foothills to the imposing Grey Peak Mountains, and begin to climb in elevation. The terrain begins of the desert begins to kind of fall away behind you, as actual trees begin to speck the landscape as you continue to climb. Grasses that look like they get at least some rain, are in tufts here and there as you continue to climb further and further. The pack mules keeping pace, this kind of being what they're bred to do, carrying their loads. The group of travelers is keeping pace. Nobody seems to be really lagging behind. Everybody kind of is taking wide-eyed looks at the desert falling below. The vantage point of halfway up the mountain is pretty impressive. You can.
Sorry to interrupt. As we sort of have begun the trek, I want to pull Tyee closer and just whisper to him quietly. Is there anything about this caravan that makes you feel, I don't know, maybe uncomfortable?
Looking around at the caravan, would I notice anything that maybe I wouldn't, that's maybe out of place from previous caravans?
Not really. The pack mules all look like they're carrying a very similar load amongst them. The adventurers, or the travelers with the group, seem to be kind of, for the most part, keeping to themselves. Everybody's focused on sure footing and making sure that they don't slip, as the path is rather steep. The drop off looks rather deadly. But nothing's jumping out at you, even with your ultra high observant ways.
It doesn't seem like anything is out of place, but it does seem like there is potentially a very, very valuable cargo here with us.
Yes, I was just more curious about your insight to last night's dealings, whether it should be something we should be concerned about, is all.
I think we should just keep an eye on Ajam. I think he's the one that needs to be watched, perhaps.
Well, if we need a scout for what it is we are carrying, let me know.
Well, yeah, I think if you can get away with it, that might be a good idea. It's good to just simply know. Just clear the air.
Vesmir would be aiming to hang towards the back of the pack. Hopefully have either Tyee or Talgar around. And he would be looking to see if any of the travelers in front would be paying attention, and he would like to sleight of hand release, make his familiar appear, and then place it onto one of the pack mules just in front of him.
And which familiar are you using?
The rat.
Okay. So give me a sleight of hand and tell me what you roll.
Oh, not great. 9. Oh, wait, I gotta add a d4. Ah, that's better. 13.
Okay. So you don't think that anybody noticed as you kind of just slightly, just like move your hand over kind of in front of your body, and place the rat on the pack mule. It quickly kind of burrows into some of the packs that they're all carrying.
And then I sort of, whoever's closer to me, the Tyee or Talgar, I ask them, please give me some assistance, as I put a hand on one of their shoulders and I lose my sense of sight and sound, and I see through the rat.
Oh, it is various different herbs, spices, incense, There's a few flasks of different types of oils, and just a kind of whole myriad of different items. Give me a perception check with your familiar.
I'm just pulling up those stats now because I was thinking that was going to come. Where's the rat? Okay. Perception's wisdom base, isn't it?
Yes.
Seems to be just a straight roll. Nat 20.
Are you serious?
Yes.
All right. So there looks to be tucked deep in the pack a leather pouch that, as your familiar kind of digs around inside, it notices that there's a few glass vials. There's a couple small glass flasks carrying various different types of liquid. There is a few silver containers that have some runes inscribed on the outside. There's also a significant, a handful of various gems tucked away in this pack that's kind of tucked inside of all of the other packs.
Okay, once I am... my rat also has dark vision as well, so it would have been helpful to obviously dig inside the pack doing that. Once Vesmir is satisfied that the whole thing's been searched, he will summon the rat back and return to normal vision and sound senses.
Okay.
And then I relay this information to if Tyee's around, I relay it back to Tyee, and Karl as well. Just to be wary that we're carrying a lot more than first anticipated.
Just as we suspected, it seems like our concerns were correct. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like potentially there's nothing really illegal here. It's just more stuff.
Yes, it seems to be of extremely high value. Maybe we are being underpaid, I do not know, but nonetheless, if anybody was aware of the cargo we are carrying, and considering we are taking a different route, it's quite possible. We just hope that nobody is aware of our travels, yes?
Yes, it seems like we are being underpaid, and perhaps we need to be a little bit more proactive in our security. Let's see here. This pack, is it on a wagon? Is it on the back of a horse?
It's on the back of the mules. The wagons were sold. You traveled by foot to the moors. Payment was received, and now you're escorting these mules that are carrying all of this cargo, as well as these individuals that are looking just to get passage to the Sword Coast in one piece.
There's a chance that I can get this mule to just stop and get him stopping his tracks, and we can have a frank conversation with the jam.
We shall keep our eyes peeled, and we can discuss what is needed to discuss when it comes time for rest, I think.
Oh, yes, I understand, yeah, so I just don't want to do it too late. I don't want to deliver the goods and then try to negotiate with the jam, and then our leverage is gone.
I would agree. If you see opportunities, then please do not hesitate.
So as the caravan continues to climb, the kind of the lip of the first mountain is within sight. As you crest over it, you can peer down into a large valley that separates kind of this mountain from the next mountain, and through kind of the peaks and stuff, you can see way in the distance the first glimmer of the Sword Coast, or at least the area. You wouldn't see the ocean, but not the desert behind you and the Sword Coast in front of you. And we can actually switch to Mountain Pass. As you crest the top of the hill, with your mules and traveling companions, stretching before you is this canyon with a river that runs through it. The path looks quite treacherous. You can see even from this vantage point, old dwarven stoneworks carved into the sides of the mountain. The walls dotted here and there with caves. As the pass and kind of canyon stretches out in front of you. And as much as I would like to continue, I think this is where we will break for the session.
Perfect.
Cool.
And this is what we call a
Rapid,
Kodak
cool.
moment.
Yeah, I'm looking to take screenshots too right now.
Did you not have our tokens not moved over yet, or? Oh, they're there.
I did move them.
It just took. It was taking a minute. No, yeah. Wow, this is nice.
On that clutch nat 20.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, dude. I was like, great, okay, so they're gonna slaughter everyone, and